Because the apostolic work, it comes to correct certain things. And that is what we are doing. I'm coming to tell you that you can also hear God by yourself. I'm correcting. I'm coming to tell you that, listen, me standing here, I don't own the keys to heaven. I don't have the keys that open heaven. So there is no way I can tell you that if you leave me, I'll close heaven in your life. It's impossible. Because the road that goes to heaven doesn't pass through my house. This message of back to Christ will be received by those who are in bondage, yet in churches. It will be rejected by those who are keeping some people in bondage in church. That is why yesterday I told you, you need deliverance from the shepherds, because the shepherds have made you believe that you cannot drink water without them helping you to drink. You come and testify that ever since I met Prophet, my life changed. There's nothing like that. You are giving me glory. Glory is not mine. Ever since I met you, my life changed. How did your ancestors' lives change without meeting me? How did your father's lives change without meeting me? How is it that Bill Gates is the richest man but he has never met me? How is it that Aliko Dangote is one of the richest men in Africa but he has never met me? Are you telling me that for anyone to be blessed they have to meet me? That is a fallacy. It's a lie. God's people need to be liberated. Take me back to the days of Nicholas Bengu, where you would preach the gospel filled with fire. Take me back to the days of NJ Sitole. Take me back to the days of Archbishop Benson Idahusa, where you would preach the gospel that is not compromised. Take me back to the days of Reinhard Bonnke, where you would come and give the message of soul winning without compromise. Take me back to the days of Catherine Kuhlman. Take me back to those days. That is the gospel that I want, not this 2019 nonsense. This one I don't want it. It favors the rich, it rejects the poor. Keep it for yourself. Keep it. I don't want it. Take me back. And I say this with a bleeding heart. I say this with an open heart and an open spirit. How did our mothers worship God back in those days? Our mothers used to pray for their sons when they go to the mines, praying that, Father, as my son is in the mine, let that mine not collapse on his head. And God used to answer their prayers without J. Israel. So how come 2019 there must be J. Israel for God to answer? Take me back. Take me back. That's where I want to go. And that's where I want to be. Not now. That's the gospel that I want. The gospel that shakes everyone to come and kneel down on the altar and weep out of conviction. Not the gospel that leaves the altar full of money without conviction in anyone's life. That gospel, keep it in your house. I don't want it. Back in the days where young men and women used to gather, seeking the face of God, arranging all-night prayers to pray, arranging all-night vigils to seek the face of God. Back in those days where our mothers used to drag us to say, let us go and hear the gospel, where we would get to church and hear the man of God speaking Christ, not himself. Take me back. I want the gospel that makes me uncomfortable when I'm sitting down. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to feel like the pastor is talking to me. I want to feel like somebody told the pastor that this is how my life is. That's how I want to feel like. I want to feel like when the pastor is preaching, he's talking straight to me, as if he knows that last night I slept with someone's wife. That's the gospel I want. Not the gospel that makes me excited and go home and tell people that, oh, service was powerful. When you leave here, they'll ask you how was church. You will say, give me time. I want the gospel that when people ask you, how was church? You can't explain to them how church was, because you are afraid that if I start speaking now, I might break into tears. Take me back. You were blessed before you met me. You were blessed before you met your first pastor. If you were breathing and you were alive, what makes you think that now because you left wherever you were, your life is going to stop? Devil is a liar. I said the devil is a liar. Most important things, go and pray, go and study your word,